What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ecola Espresso, and welcome to this video here today on my channel regarding Advanced Warfare. This one is going to be a little bit more freeform of a commentary, and well, personally, I don't really have any other topic other than my thoughts and opinions on what we've seen so far, and this is something that I've been getting asked to do a lot on Twitter, surprisingly. Like, I honestly didn't think that you guys would be like, yo, share your opinions and your thoughts with us on this game. My main thing is news, and that's what a lot of people here are subscribed for, so this type of thing is not my exact cup of tea, but I do enjoy sharing my thoughts and views on all this. So honestly, I have no idea in terms of how long this video will be or where we even go talking about it. I'm probably just gonna ramble on for a little bit, and I don't really plan on setting a set goal amount for likes on this video, which is a first for a while because, well, freeform stuff isn't really what you guys are used to here on my channel. So I've done a couple in the past, they've done well, but they aren't received as well as news videos because clearly that's what I'm all about here on my channel. This type of stuff is a little secondary. It's something that I do every so often and just want to put out there. So if you did like the video, be sure to leave a like down below. But back to the topic at hand, Gamescom has come and gone now. We've seen our Advanced Warfare multiplayer reveal. We've seen a ton of gameplay from larger YouTubers regarding Advanced Warfare, look-ins and all that kind of stuff. I've personally have done tons of informational videos, as has so many other YouTubers. They've done some great job. Pretty much Advanced Warfare right now is one of the biggest things on YouTube. It's even in the top 10 for the Nielsen trends, which if you guys don't know that, that's like a global networking type thing where it shows you the hottest things in each market: TV, books, movies, music, video games, all that kind of stuff. Last I checked, Advanced Warfare was sitting at number 6, and we're 3 months away from launch. Number 6 out of all of this stuff in that category video game wise. That's just tremendously incredible, and partially one, because the game just looks insanely amazing. 2, the community actually is pretty good with Advanced Warfare right now. This time last year at Ghost, I couldn't tell you how many people I hated and just totally could not stand because of the amount of stupid stuff they said or just random BS information they put out there. And 3, because it's actually a change to the title. No, I'm not talking about Advanced Warfare, the name itself, because that's actually such a generic term. It's literally Modern Warfare, but in terms of a futuristic advanced version. So Advanced Warfare, while the name probably isn't the best of all choices out there, it sticks and it's true to the actual nature of the game. What I mean by actually a change to the title is of all of the innovation. The game itself, people have been asking for change in a Call of Duty for years now. I could not even go back and trace the first comment that I saw where everybody was like, oh, Call of Duty needs to change, man. It's the same thing you would get that literally every single year, maybe even since like COD 4, which was the first Call of Duty that was actually like heavily played online. The innovation in this game is honestly something we have never seen in a Call of Duty title before. It is completely different. It is changing the entire face of what Call of Duty is, and that to me is just great right there. You do have some people saying, oh, this isn't Call of Duty anymore, man. It's totally Titanfall and Halo, everything like they just had a baby and like made Call of Duty Advanced Modern Warfare. No, it's nothing like that at all, because the way that I see it, the people that are complaining about this not being Call of Duty anymore are the same exact people that said that Call of Duty needed a change to begin with. While I'm not trying to bash anybody that is saying that or thinks that it isn't Call of Duty anymore, because personally I totally respect your opinion. That's everybody has their own thoughts and ideas on things, and it's totally cool if you think that. But the thing is, Sledgehammer actually listened to the community saying that they wanted change for so many years now, and they actually gave change. I'll touch more on that community stuff in a little bit, that we'll get to that later on in the video, but it's just honestly amazing to finally see something different in a Call of Duty title. Even down to the little things like the movement and the pace of the game. Ghost to me was just extremely slow. Yes, it had some maps where it'd be extremely fast paced, like Strike Zone. That was actually probably one of my favorite maps to play, even though I hated the way the flow of the map worked sometimes. The pace itself was actually a normal fast paced mode. Like maps like Chasm, Whiteout, and all those other bigger maps, they were way too slow paced. You literally would see maybe like 20 people a game, and if you're lucky, maybe like 35, 40, and a lot of the times you would lose gunfights because of stupid things. But then there were other maps like Warhawk and Octane and other esports maps that honestly the pace should be a lot higher, and they still were really slow at times, depending if you were in public matches and depending on the playstyle of the lobby. Sometimes it would be extremely high paced. Like some games I would get 50, 60 kills on Warhawk, and at some other games I would get like 20 and and see just as many people. So it really wasn't that great of a game in terms of pace. Black Ops 2 was a very high-paced game as well, even though it did have some bigger maps in there in terms of like gun-on-gun action. It still played out very well. Advanced Warfare, to me, it just looks like it's just going to be such a fast-paced game, not only because of the movement speeds and the exo abilities allowing you to be faster in boosts and all that kind of stuff. It seriously just looks like it's going to be one of the fastest games to date, and that to me is just going to be extremely fun to watch, even if you don't like esports. I don't mean to make this focused around esports at all. It's just a big topic of interest in my personal interest in the game, as well as what the game is built around in the community-wise as well. So esports is going to be one of those things where like it's going to be fun to watch because of the pace of the game, because of all the new abilities. The game itself is going to be so fast-paced, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. It's definitely not going to be one of those games where you're going to be able to see people sitting in corners and flourishing. That's something that finally is going to change. One of the next big things that I really feel like I need to talk about is the sound of the game. This is something that I've noticed the entire time through watching gameplay. It's just raw gameplay footage of the actual game itself. It's something that a lot of people don't really touch on because they don't really try and listen for everything. They don't have that interest to try and dissect everything that we hear out of it. Coming from a musical background, I pick up on all these things so quickly. It's something that honestly I cannot just toss to the side and pretend like it's not there. Sound in a game is tremendously important. It's probably one of the biggest things. I'd honestly say it even is up there with graphics, maybe even a little bit more important, because if you don't have the sound, that'll just really like just dig right into your soul and be like, this is gut-wrenching, this is amazing, and it clinches you to the game. It brings you that much closer to what you're playing. You wouldn't have anywhere near a blockbuster title. So honestly, whenever Sledgehammer and all this stuff from Call of Duty came out saying that it was going to be a brand new audio engine, I was a bit skeptical, and I was kind of like, you know what, this might be just another marketing advertisement type thing they're going to be doing just to push out some hype for the game, because we saw that in Ghost, where it was going to be an air quote brand new engine for Call of Duty and something that we had never seen before, and fish AI that would react to you. Holy crap, so innovative. But seriously, the whole thing of a brand new engine is always so sketchy and iffy in the terms of believing it and it actually being true. But this one, I can guarantee you that this whole thing, building the audio engine from the ground up, is 100% true. The sound of this game, it seriously just blows my mind, and it destroys the competition in any other Call of Duty title. When you listen to the actual raw gameplay, like go search some right after this video and watch just some unedited, voiceover video regarding the gameplay, and it's just raw footage. Watch it and listen for the shots. If you have stereo speakers or a headset that you're wearing, please listen. Headphones may not do it justice, maybe they will, but I know for a fact that anything with like a surround sound type thing will definitely show this off. The shots in the game have resonance. This is something that if you ever go to a real gun range and actually shoot a gun, you'll be able to hear that echo. You'll be able to feel that sound of the gun shooting like it's right there in your face, because this game does the same exact thing. Previous Call of Duty titles had good sound, but it was hollow. It didn't ever actually connect with you. It didn't ever actually have an echo. This game has resonance and echo in every single shot, and that just blows my mind. Whether or not that's just the capability of the next-gen consoles and being able to show that off, it seriously is, it's mind-boggling how much better of sound this game has than Call of Duty Ghosts and Black Ops 2 and every other title previously. Again, I don't want to stay on one topic too much, so we're going to move on. The next thing, I kind of briefly touched on already, but the competitive aspect of the game just looks insanely amazing. The game was built around the competitive community. For those of you guys that don't like esports, it's just the matter of a fact that a competitive game is a lot more fun to play than a game that is extremely just leisurely and full of people sitting in corners. That wouldn't be any fun to play. This game was built around the esports community, because the whole esports community and game modes other than search and destroy are pretty much go straight to the objective, do your best, die in the process, but still enjoy what you're doing. So all in all, that just completely snowballs into this huge thing where it's just going to help out the speed and the fluidity of the game. And also, as I mentioned earlier, it's just going to be so much more fun to watch the game in terms of being a spectator for like esports events and all that, just because of how how fast-paced and how innovative some of these new modes coming to competitive are. Right now, we have 5 game modes that have potential to be esports material. I think it already was released that there's going to be 3 of them, and Search and Destroy isn't actually in it, but I'm not entirely 100% sure on that. I only saw a glance of that, and it's still going to be a best of 5 series with 3 game modes where it cycles in and out of them. But the thing is, there's 5 game modes in this game that just are extremely heavily team-based and extremely heavily competitive. So to be able to see a potential of, if that gets boring with 3 game modes, to move over into 5 so that a best of 5 series has 5 different game modes, that would be it would be unreal and unheard of, but it would be extremely fun to watch just because there would be so much variation there and so much going into the gameplay styles that needed to change from map to map. It's just insane to see how well this game is going to cater to both the competitive aspect of the game in terms of community, and as well as bringing us casual players into the game and immersing us into a higher level of play. So with that being said, let's move on to our final topic here today. I know this is getting really long. It's already around the, what is it now, like 10-minute and 45-second mark, so I don't want to keep you guys too long because, first off, if you made it this far, you guys are legends for staying around and listening to my thoughts and opinions on what we've seen so far. But the community outreach and awareness of Sledgehammer games also just fascinates me and just blows my mind at how extremely well done it is. I can't really say anything other than that. I have, honest to God, no beef with in any way, shape, or form with anybody from Sledgehammer or Sledgehammer themselves in terms of how their community management is working, because let's be totally honest with you, they are already like 30 million times better than Infinity Ward's entire community management group. I have nothing against the Call of Duty name. I have nothing against some specific people in Infinity Ward, but honestly, the fact that some of these games developed mostly Infinity Ward, I hate to point the finger, but honestly, I can't just ignore it. Infinity Ward is terrible with community management, and they are honestly one of the worst I've seen with like taking feedback and criticism. Honestly, I keep going back to this esports thing just because it's a growing community first off, and it's something that I love, but the esports community didn't have any optimization to play events or anything until 3 entire months after launch. Like, that to me just is absurd. Not to mention there's still so many buggy problems with the game Ghosts that could be totally fixable with one quick hotfix or patch, and then they go and completely just avoid the entire situation. Sledgehammer is on the complete polar opposite scale of that. They're listening to everything that the community is saying first off, and I want to point out the fact that the last 2 Call of Duty championships, the esports events for the $1 million tournament, that type of invitational tournament, they have been at the past 2, not just to watch and support the Call of Duty name, they have been there with clipboards, pens, and taking notes on what works and what doesn't, and they've been doing that for 2 years now, optimizing what they can put into their game, seeing what works and what doesn't. Like, that to me is mind-boggling how much dedication there is in there. Not to mention the community outreach on social media like Twitter, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. The people at Sledgehammer are real dudes connecting with their fans. Like, honestly, it's crazy because you wouldn't see any other developer of any other studio in the Call of Duty franchise just randomly having conversations and answering questions about the games like Sledgehammer is doing. Like, they actually care about their fans. I had a joke with Michael Condry at one point in time on Twitter, and it was one of the coolest things ever because, like, somebody that was making a game that I am extremely hyped for was talking to me and actually recognizing me as a person. That's the thing that just, I think, sets them apart in the community is that they're fans, first off, of the franchise, and they're people. They're like us. They've recognized that they're nobody different. They don't stand on a pedestal, and they're just fans of the game like we are. They connect with us like we're all buddies. Not to mention any single like idea that anybody would have in the community, they'll just take it into consideration and even implement it into the game. Like, there are a lot of people saying, oh, it's not really Call of Duty anymore because of the exo abilities, but instead of being like, oh man, that sucks for you, you're just not gonna like the game, they went and made an entire playlist for the game with everything in it except the exo abilities, like the boost jump and all that kind of dodging stuff. Yeah, they did that whole thing, and it's gonna be in-game at launch where you don't have to play with that. That to me is just I can't even get over how great they're doing with connecting with their community and making a game that everybody will love, that they're going to try and actually dedicate their entire 3 years of development to bringing a game that'll not only last an entire year called a life cycle, which is something that we haven't seen for years, they're also making it so that everybody will love it. But I think that's where we're going to call this video, guys. 14 and a half minutes so far into this one. I think that's enough of me. I know I said I was going to ramble, and I pretty much did, but that is my honest to God thoughts on the game. I am unbearably excited for the game. I have nothing but praise right now for Sledgehammer and Advanced Warfare, and I am counting down the days until Advanced Warfare launches, or if I can get my copy early for you guys so I can bring content early and all that kind of stuff. So that's been my time, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you seriously so much for staying through a 15-minute video of just my opinions on the game and what we've seen so far. If you did like the video, please leave a like rating down below. Any shares to your Facebook, Twitter, and or MySpace if you would like that, always greatly appreciated. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe for the best of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare content. Any new news and information, you guys know exactly where to find it right here up on my channel. We are entering that purgatory period in Advanced Warfare where we're not going to have much information until like a month or so before launch whenever it starts hyping out a little bit more, but stay tuned because I still have a ton of videos planned. Like, I'm not even joking you on that one. I know I say it every video, but I still have probably about 10 to 12 videos planned out for you guys, and that's off the top of my head. So stay tuned. We got some awesome stuff coming, you guys. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. My name's Nicola Espresso. As always, if you guys are having a great day, I shall see you guys tomorrow. Take care and peace.
Surprise, motherfucker.